Hey, this is Mike Ness from Social Distortion. I'm here with Joe Escalante from the Vandals. He's my friend and muse and comic relief. And we're going to be talking about this tragic comedy.
I'm just basically here to make sure Mike keeps talking, because this is a hard job to keep talking the entire film. Hopefully we'll get a lot of information.
Talk, motherfucker! How's it going, Joe?
It's going good. So,
is that you in that pit right there?
Mosh pit. I could be there. Actually, I can't even lie. I know for a fact I wasn't at this show. But this show wasn't part of the tour at all, right? This is just this atmosphere that they had to get.
This looks like somewhere else.
And a lot of dudes.
All dudes.
In those days, a lot of dudes, huh? Just no chicks.
It's the boys' club.
Yeah. Now the kids have it easy, huh?
Yeah.
So when did you even learn there was going to be a movie about this tour?
I don't know. When they first started talking about it, I mean, it was kind of... it made it a little bit more interesting, I guess, but we were going to go on tour regardless. I mean, we had a chance to go on our first national tour, so...
How long had you been on? You'd been up to San Francisco before that? Just that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we'd done little short stints, Las Vegas, Arizona, Phoenix, San Diego, San Francisco, but Las Vegas. Did you already say Las Vegas?
I think you might have.
And Las Vegas.
And Las Vegas.
And Las Vegas. But yeah, we never, we didn't have a vehicle big enough to really go on a long trip.
And how long had you been together?
Well, this was 82, so about 2.5, 3 years.
And how'd you meet Dennis and I guess Carrot? Carrot was your first drummer?
Well, I knew Dennis from school, and
what school?
I knew him. He lived in my neighborhood when we were in elementary school, and I thought he was an asshole, pretty much. And then I got to know him, and he was a senior in high school, and I was a junior, and we had graphic arts together, Mr. Cheney.
And what school was it?
At Troy High School.
Troy, okay, right.
Yeah, and we were making punk rock T-shirts, and then his brother worked at the Starwood. So
really?
His older brother was a light guy on Tuesday nights at the Starwood. So
you were getting in free.
We were getting in free and driving up on Tuesday nights and seeing, the Germs and the Blasters on a Tuesday night and coming home the next day, and
it's all starting to make sense.
Telling everyone about it. Yeah.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Because you had to find out about the Starwood, but that's where I was going. But I had like older brothers and older brothers' friends, but that was kind of the same kind of thing. Now, in this thing right here, they tell you to come to a meeting because we're gonna talk about the tour, or was it just like, hey, we have to shoot something for the beginning of the movie?
It was probably it was starting filming.
Introduce the characters. And then how did you get from Carrot to Derek and Brent?
That was basically somewhere along the line. I kind of wanted to bring in another guitar player to the band because, growing up with the Stones and Johnny Thunders and stuff like that, it's like I really wanted a little bit more, another guitar added to our sound, so I decided to move Dennis to guitar and then get, Brent Lyles on drums, and I forget what happened to Carrot. I think he quit, or...
What's he up to now?
I ran into him in, Florida.
Yeah?
He's like a truck driver or a macho, a macho job, like construction, or,
Now, had you ever, what was your relationship with the Stearns brothers before? Did you guys hang out, or you just know each other?
Not really. I just kind of knew them from seeing them at shows and stuff. And sometimes they'd have parties at their house and stuff.
Okay. Was that the house?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
It looks like they kind of made it up. Like they put a few flyers on the wall for for video stuff. Okay, now who are these guys?
This is when we're fixing up the bus, getting ready to leave, and you notice I'm not doing anything.
That's what they said when they did their commentary.
That was me with a beer supervising.
Oh my gosh! Now, when you first saw the bus, what'd you think?
Oh, for us, that was all mod cons. I mean, that was great. That was a step up.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that bus was a step up from a Motel 6.
Right, the clubhouse on wheels.
But, well, it was a Motel 6 on wheels, pretty much.
And Mike Brenson there? Was he working for you, or did he work just for the whole tour?
I think he thought we were working for him most of the time.
Right.
Yeah. And Rockstar Roadie.
Yeah, the original Rockstar Roadie. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Marlon Whitfield. I'm 20 years old, and I'm part of the road crew.
Louis, 21.
Did you know these guys before?
Yeah, I knew them from seeing them at shows and stuff. Back then, we were like hanging out at the Cathedral Grand, and
Okay, now Dennis just said he was 16.
yeah, he says it's a different age every time he comes on. Watch. The next time he'll say he's like
Learning a new profession.
18.
I'm Derek O'Brien. I'm 19 years old. I come from Orange County, California, and I play drama.
Dennis, I'm 38. I'm Brian, I'm 19, I play bass with Social Distortion.
I'm Mark.
Now, how old was Dennis when he died?
I play drums in the youth brigade.
I think he was 40.
He was 40?
Started Social Distortion
41?
about
Huh?
summer
Oh,
of
38.
78.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Dennis,
38?
I play guitar in Social Distortion.
38.
That's weird. He said he's 38.
Call me Mark. My name is really Mark. I basically...
Now, this is your manager?
Make sure everything...
Quotes?
I guess so. And he was the mechanic.
Yeah.
I guess mechanic and manager are kind of the same thing.
But we're also doing a lot of smaller places like Portland, Oregon, Seattle. And then up in Canada, we're doing Calgary and Edmonton and Saskatoon and Winnipeg, which are places that bands haven't ever really played before. So I think the bus should hold out. It's only got...
I think the bus should hold out.
Very optimistic.
That's how you should start the
Yeah.
film. I think the bus should hold
Right,
out.
okay. We'll re-edit this and start with that.
He's pretty good. He's been doing a lot of
I
work
think the
on
bus...
So I guess
I mean, this guy was... I mean, what would you have done with Monk?
he'll handle it.
What would we would have
Yeah.
done?
Fix things and nothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, he definitely kept the thing rolling. None of us knew what to do.
Seems like it would go about 50 miles, and that would have been the end of the tour. Now, what about your parents? What are they thinking?
I didn't have any communication with my parents at this point.
What about Dennis?
Yeah, well, Dennis's house was the house we'd hang out at. If you got hungry, you went over to Dennis's house.
Right.
I don't know. His parents were cool. I mean, the only thing he ever heard from his mom was they had an addition upstairs, and his mom would always say, "You guys smoking up there?" She'd flash the light, "You guys smoking up there?"
And but Derek, he was brand new, and he doesn't seem to be from the same streets as you guys.
No.
So how was that? Like, was it easy to convince him to go on the road? And
What's that?
did he want to go on the road? And
I think so, but I mean, yeah, he just didn't have any, any street, smarts, or it was kind of like, what are you doing here? Oh yeah, you're in my band.
I mean, this is a big part of the movie, I think. I mean, that's what people always remember. It seems to me.
I was an asshole.
But you're coming up with some. I mean, you had an angle,
I had what would you call it? A philosophy, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you had some. And this, what do you remember the name of this club? I think Stearns Brothers said like something like that wasn't even San Francisco, like that was Seattle or something. But you know,
Yeah, that's probably a little bit later, because
and you bought that shirt at a boutique around the corner from the.
yeah, I got that on Rodeo Drive before we left. We had the film company charged it. You can't get those anymore. Those are obsolete. I could make you one if you want.
I'm saying, fucking Crazy Cat clothing. What is it?
Black Cat.
Black Cat.
Yeah, there I go.
Was that the end of that show?
See, the drummer looks at me
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Fuck you, man."
Yeah, I'm in a band that
Fucking, I mean,
our guitar player jumps on our drum set
fall
every
into your
day.
kid anytime I want, pal. I'll get pinned underneath it too if I want.
Yeah, you can see the look on his face. Like, how could you? This
Yeah.
is my musical instrument.
I know.
It's never happened in marching band.
Half of it is the band's fault. The Cramps come through here and they play a bar, 21 and over.
Nah.
They ultimately eliminate
This guy's hurting right now.
of their audience
He's hurting me.
by playing a 21
I can't even,
bar.
like, 20 years later. He hurt me back then. Now he's really hurting me now.
It's bullshit.
Just think, just what if someone just came up and out of camera and cold cocked him. Bam!
Oh my God! I mean,
Shut the fuck up.
you're lucky someone didn't put him in the bus and say, "This guy's really cool. We're going to take him to the next town."
I know.
Here comes the positive report.
Total success, except for the fact that the son of a bitch ripped us off.
They ripped us off at first. Then we had to hassle them for more money just so we could pay the PDs.
Dennis got a 40 ouncer.
Uh-huh.
Rolls of penny.
Stoked. Yeah. Mark was saying that was his big line. The only thing he's remembered for is his rolls of pennies lines, but it's a good line.
It's a great line.
That guy, I don't know, you know, whatever. People make a movie and they go, "Oh, there's a crazy guy over here, get him on film." It's like,
That's cool. They let him in. All right.
it's
right
true.
on.
It's true. Now, what did people look? Were you surprised at how different people were in every city? Just everyone, they didn't have a communication to like. Everyone had their own look. Seemed.
Yeah, I mean, it was, for me, it was the first time practically I had been out of California, so it was just, for me, it was just interesting just seeing different places and different people, different ways of life.
Right. No, it's an education. But
See, that looks like a dressing room, but that's like, I think someone's house.
where you would end up?
Yeah.
If people,
and
the
that's
kind of
way-
people that would
that's-
say, "Hey, you can crash at our house."
Exactly.
Yeah.
You define yourself in society to a large degree by how you look. And if
Here's the
I
senator
wear,
of
more
California.
joggers and polo shirts and something
Yeah, the Stearns brothers had something to say about this guy. He went to UCLA
Yeah.
with Sean
Oh,
and
yeah.
me. We all. I never remember this guy.
fact is that I don't
I was so busy getting insulted by Sean every day that I don't remember the rest of the guys that he hung out with.
What does Sean take?
I don't remember. It was like lunchtime, and he would just tell everyone how my band sucks.
The reason why I look the way I do is because I don't like the quote.
And they knew this. This is all like after the movie, I think, was shot.
I don't like that.
Like after the tour,
All-American girl.
these guys.
Yeah, it was either before or after, yeah.
Well, when I was little, most people they grow up and when they're little they say.
She
"Well,
works
I
at
grew up
BYO.
to be a doctor or whatever. I always
Sometimes.
wanted to be a clown.
But that's one of the only girls
Something to do with it.
from the
It's
punk
so
scene in LA.
strange.
If I dress normal, like preppy or whatever, I could be.
And what's he doing now?
Still get pulled over.
I don't know, is he like an ATF officer or something like that?
Drug Enforcement Agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have his business card,
That's
actually.
awesome.
Yeah.
Next,
He just got transferred to DC, I heard.
Or something, and I had some guy say to me, "Isn't it bad enough you're black that you have to go have blue?"
He's a good
hair?
skateboarder,
He's
too.
gonna duke me, so it doesn't make a difference. like really what I did. Because if I was you know just black and normal, I'd still get fucked with. So I might as well do what I want to do.
Now, how'd you get in the Canadian border? Are you in Canada yet? How'd you go through the border with that thing? They never let you in there now.
Not now. I mean, I don't even remember having a passport at that age. But
So most of the time you're just sitting in that bench,
yeah,
just facing one way or the other, or just
talking shit out the window.
And your per diems were how much per day?
$5 a day.
And where would that usually go?
Just get like a burger around 3 o'clock in the day.
Right.
When you woke up,
Yeah.
get a burger, and then you start drinking.
Right. And drink your dinner.
Yeah.
And
Then maybe get something to eat late night or something.
Maybe. Like some of these houses would make you food and stuff.
Yeah. Chili.
Looks like tour food. That was before the vegetarian scene,
Yeah.
too.
All I can tell you is we were probably really hungry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
This is the best place we've hit so far. Like, give me a beer. Even though the bikers are pretty scary.
You're kind of in your own world, it looks like, too, no matter what's going on, you know? Like, yeah, you guys high-five each other. I'm eating.
yeah, it's
really cool.
kind of
Yeah, it's like the best city we've been to so far. As far as the kids, yeah.
Now, when did you start writing, like Another State of Mind, the song?
I don't know, probably when I started getting depressed.
Mm-hmm. Came out
pretty early on.
Most of the punks come party here. It's where everybody
I didn't
hangs
really
out,
know how to
have good
skate on
times,
a ramp or
friends play.
anything, so I just kind of
Calgary's
watched,
started
Right.
a couple years ago
hung out.
with the punk scene, and everybody's
So,
basically
also, you don't want to break your arm.
keep a hold of it, I guess.
Why is it so tough here?
Just because there's too many rednecks in Calgary.
We see you back there.
People are too narrow-minded, I guess, to
Drinking
listen
some
to
extra
music.
old stock.
Call your names and shit. Want to fight you.
See, so it's what's interesting about what they're talking about is that they are talking about the same struggles that even in Orange County that we were going through, and look how many thousands of miles we are away, dealing with rednecks or carloads of jocks or just ignorant society's ignorance, and so that was neat to see traveling that they still had the same struggles as we did.
And they all chose to get into it because they were all collectively bored with whatever else.
I mean, back then when you got back then we used to have to ride the public transit system, so when you got on the bus and you saw a kid with cropped hair and some thrift store clothes, you would kind of talk to him and ask him, like, hey, what's going on tonight? Or have you heard the new Clash album? Or have you, there was a tendency to, you had a bond because we were literally a minority.
Yeah.
So,
like an underground minority.
Yeah.
Completely misunderstood.
Yeah.
What's up with Mike Brinson's accent?
He's a California dude.
She still wasn't no Mohawk mania chick,
He could have been at Fast Times at Ridgemont.
He's probably the inspiration. Now, there wasn't a lot of girls, but still you'd think there'd be some girls. But Brinson got some girls, right?
I think he got something.
He roadied for the Vandals, I know. Everywhere we went, he got something.
Caught some disease on the
Something
road.
I didn't know.
I don't know.
I didn't know went on between men and women. He would always tell me about. I just did this. Just, whoa. And his shorts. I mean, they're the star of the show, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that was even long for Dolphins back then, or short for Dolphins. I mean,
at least we know we've accomplished something. If we bum their lives,
Whoa.
at least we know we're opening their minds up a little
That's why you got in a fight with the Puerto Ricans. It was Brinson's shorts, maybe.
It must have been.
Now, but speaking of the Puerto Ricans, when did you get in a fight with the
That wasn't until Connecticut.
Connecticut?
But, yeah, we were. I don't know what we were doing in this neighborhood, but
That's where punk shows are. The
Yeah,
bad neighborhoods. They're
yeah.
always in the bad neighborhood.
exactly.
This hurts me the way that other guy hurt you.
This hurts, too. Watching him get his hair dyed every 5 minutes. I mean, he had to get on stage, I guess, so
Yeah,
he had to
right.
do his hair.
You're right. Did he ever do his own in-stores along the road?
He might be doing signings now, though.
He could.
Back then, I would just do most of the writing alone and then show it to the band when I felt, comfortable with it.
Right. Did any other songs come out of this tour besides that one?
No, actually, I'm lucky to even get this. Lucky to have even written one out of the deal.
And then, how soon after this did you record the Mommy's Little Monsters?
When we got home in '83, we recorded that Mommy's Little Monster in 1983. So shortly after we got home,
you just started writing?
Yeah, well, we had some songs. Mommy's Little Monster was already written, the song, and we had a good start on the album.
And what label was that out on the first time?
13th Floor Records. That was our own label.
That was a Fullerton thing.
Mm-hmm.
One title, something called Another State of Mind. In another state, in another state of mind. That was kind of witty. I'm playing a band, I'm traveling, I'm making money. I'm making enough money to live. So,
$5 a day to live.
I'm living my lifestyle, yeah. Give me your average day. Sleep in. Depends on what time I wake up. Watch.
People talk to me, they say,
or something.
back then that was their average day too. Like,
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah. I mean,
just the TV.
I had some friends who had jobs, but
And then you see, I used to watch. Then I'd watch like.
somewhere along this, though, either before it or sorry, I keep moving the microphone. If this was '82,
Then I'd watch.
sometime either before this or after, I did get a job at the porno shop there in Fullerton, which I worked for over a year.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
That was kind of legendary.
It was a good job.
Now,
We're
this looks
lucky we didn't get killed by the mob, though. I mean, we robbed them blind.
was that the mob who controlled it, or they owned it?
Absolutely.
And then the employees are just...
Yeah, and back then they didn't really take inventory on anything, so a guy would come up and slam a dildo and a jar of grease on the counter, and you just round it off to $50. That's $50 even, sir.
Yeah.
And he's in a hurry to get the fuck
he's
out
gotta
of
get
there.
out of
man.
there.
He's shaking practically.
right. Whatever.
He just hands you the cash and throw it in a brown bag. So I was making really good money then.
Wow.
So that must have been after this.
Yeah, I get it. It's a profit game.
Educational, too.
Yeah, by the time you did this tour and learned about the people that come into porno places, you were pretty well-rounded.
Well, yeah, on a Sunday night, I would work there alone. I'd have Rodney on the Rock playing. I'd have a six-pack in the refrigerator and order a pizza, have it delivered. It was like, I am the king of my domain right here,
Right, and then when it's time to tour, you can take off, and
Exactly.
the porno shop's going to be there. That's good.
So Mommy's Little Monster was already written.
Yeah. But in a punk band like this, I think you have to have that setup where you got some way to leave some lifestyle behind, whether like with you, there's no, you didn't have communication with your family. You had a flexible employment.
Well, it's like that scene in Officer and a Gentleman. I got no place to go. I got no place else to go.
Right. So without that, once you have a place to go, that's when the bands stop, and then
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're in the system.
That shirt I got at Saks Fifth Avenue. And those you can't get those anymore either.
Okay, this is kind of interesting.
Oh, take a left.
Hey, you're in Canada, and then your roadie's beating up your drunk roadie's beating up the kids. How did that go over?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty funny, actually. I mean, it is entertaining, isn't it?
Sure. We had a band yesterday on the Warped Tour. A giant fight broke out during their set. One of our younger bands on Kung Fu, and I just...
Amongst each other?
No, in the audience,
Oh, yeah.
and they were upset. And I go, hey, you're now the band that 100 people got in a fight while you were playing. You've kind of made it to one level.
The family system or whatever. There's no family.
Now, did you know Keith Morris back then?
Because it was already broken down.
Yeah, I remember the cover of the Circle Jerks album. I got horned in on the front cover.
Oh, the one that's...
Wild in the Streets, or
How did that end up happening?
they were doing a photo shoot in the city in San Francisco, and they wanted all these kids to come down and be a part of it. And I kind of horned my way right up to the front.
Yeah, so I'm going to be on the front of this record.
Front of the cover of the Circle Jerks album, yeah.
For a while, my mom
That's pretty good status.
showed me around the house
That's great.
Every 2 months, she'd tear down all my flyers off the walls and throw my posters away.
If you can't be on the cover of your own record, be on the cover of someone else's, right?
That wasn't you on the cover of Mommy's Little Monsters?
So now I just don't like.
I don't know.
Face.
See, the time frame is really like, I'm a little confused. Like, I don't know when that record came out, the Circle Jerks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was before or after.
I think it was a skeleton, though. Okay.
Oh, that was me.
Now, the skeleton, how did that come about? The skeleton logo, this is going to be... I remember you guys have the guy with the hat and the X's in his
Yeah,
face.
that was
your...
drunk punk, wearing the fedora hat. And that was really our first logo. And then a friend of mine who was an artist had done a... like it was like an invitation to like a New Year's Eve party or something, and I saw it and I go, that's awesome, like we need to use that.
The drunk punk?
No, the
skeleton.
Skelly,
Okay.
yeah.
With the martini glass or whatever.
Oh wait, my son.
One, two, three.
Now these seem to be the most colorful, some of the most colorful people in
these
the movie.
kids were for real. I mean, these were real street kids. I mean, these kids lived hard lives.
Tell me about Marcel.
Now the film crew, they are how visible or intrusive are they? Or
Well, they would just show up when it was convenient to film something. But they were staying in hotels, and they had a nice, dependable vehicle and clean clothes, and so I mean. We've talked about it before. They missed a lot of really cool stuff because they weren't there 24/7.
Right. What kind of stuff did they miss? Come to mind.
Well, they missed like a lot of the internal fights. I got a black eye from Louis, one of the roadies, and they missed that gang fight in Connecticut. They missed a lot. I mean, I think still overall it's a good film. You got to realize that back then when this film was made, all the newspapers were saying about punk was that they were just a bunch of vandals running around slashing swastikas in their arms with razor blades, and on your TV, on the daytime talk shows, there was these like organizations like Parents of Punkers and stuff like that, basically trying to save your kids from this cult, if you will, and it was just so misunderstood.
Right.
They didn't realize that it was just another.
Just a movement.
Just another revolution of
kids. Yeah, you're just bringing music to these towns and trying to see the world.
Yeah.
after a week, they make me, and they give me a place to stay, and then they want to screw, and then I tell them to fuck off, and then I go for somebody else. Always like this. Always find my way.
What was Louis? You got a black eye from Louis. What was up with that?
Oh, I don't know what the fight was about, you know. We just, you know, you got 12 guys or 10 guys in a bus.
Right.
You know, it's only a matter of time to start getting on each other's nerves. I mean,
it's true.
You see me, I'm spending a lot of time alone. Obviously, people were getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Because I used to be another person years ago. I used to be the nicest person you ever met. I used to be good at school and all that stupid stuff.
And how were your per diems lasting? Were they still $5 a day at this point? Or?
Yeah, I don't think we were getting cut yet. But, you know, Canada, if I remember right, it was a little expensive, or I don't know, maybe not, but we had to, you know, the dollar was different, yeah.
If you're changing $5.
Oh, yeah, actually, so
yeah.
we had more money because of...
But you had to change your money.
Yes. This guy's just talking about being misunderstood, you know?
Right.
I am gonna die in 2 years. So, I want everybody to come and see me at the funeral.
Now, do you remember these kids? Or was this the film crew that had...
No, these we were actually hanging out with these guys, yeah. We, you know, spent probably a good week or two with these people,
really?
Yeah.
Now, was that because there was just gaps in your shows? Or?
Well, yeah, when you go to Canada, it's like everything's so spread apart that we probably, you know, it wasn't like we were going from Calgary to the next city to the next city. You know, this is probably our only show, and it was probably a good week before our next one.
Wow, really?
It's not like these days where it's
every night.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, there was like not one punk agent in the country back then.
Yes.
And now there's hundreds.
Yes.
And grumble about not getting enough money. We haven't been getting paid at all the gigs. Like tonight, we didn't get paid all our money. And then, I don't know, it seems like things are just kind of starting to fall apart. And then to top it all off, we go to these guys.
Well, he had an optimistic first portion of the film.
Yeah. It's like 3 in the morning, we go in there, and this lady, this French lady, this old, ugly lady, wouldn't serve us. She wouldn't even speak
we are getting discriminated against.
Yeah, but this is just good old-fashioned discrimination.
Yeah.
Cops come and kick us out. We didn't do anything. All we wanted to do was buy some food.
They should have had a normal restroom and then a punk rockers restroom.
Punks only, drinking fountain. I don't know about the banging the coffee cup on the counter, though.
Yeah, well, Derek wasn't the most tactful person in the world.
And then Clouseau comes in.
See, these guys were locals, though, so they knew how to handle the police and stuff. And
yeah. Yeah, well, they're not going to get free donuts if they don't get rid of you.
She thinks we're coming there to fuck with her or something. That's just the way people...
She was obviously, though, very offended by our presence. And we didn't come in doing anything crazy.
Right.
You know, we were just wanted something to eat.
Right.
But the way we looked...
Calgary. Is this Calgary?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the Texas of... this is Montreal? Oh, okay. Montreal is kind of like the Paris. We're having problems with, with them forever, I guess.
Money makes a big difference, I guess, which is a pretty sick thing to think about, but unfortunately it's true. When you're hungry and you don't have any money...
And weren't the Stearns Canadian?
Things don't look as great as they
they had citizenship.
Yeah.
Canadian citizenship, yeah.
What about unity? If you're hungry, nobody's unified. If you got
now, why were there... I mean, it just seems hard to go to Canada. I mean, why? Like, just probably because they had Canadian connections or whatever. It seems like there's plenty of cities in the U.S., so I make it that hard to go up there and play.
Well, obviously there was, like, a demand for it.
Yeah, the scenes. We had like DOA and stuff that had done a lot of shows up there. He looks good.
But it looks beautiful, the scenery.
And here you come. Now, where's this? Sea and Ocean.
This is Chicago. That was a
Chicago,
lake, yeah.
Ah. Now, that's a big city. You're coming out of a big city you probably heard about your whole life.
Yeah, I mean, I think right here is we're either doing a daytime show or this might not have even been a show that was booked.
Right.
But we had some time off, so we called the bar and convinced them to let us set up our gear or something like that, because you can see there's not very many people there. Maybe we knew the bar owner or something, or...
And this is the Worm.
Yeah, fish out of water. That's how I felt. A fish out of water.
That was their first glimpse of Huntington Beach's favorite new dance. I'm not going to laugh because I used to do that dance too. Didn't you play like for like a week in one place where you just kept playing the same? The Stearns Brothers said like.
Ooh, you mean at the same place?
Yeah, like that place or something. You just kept going back and.
It's very possible. I mean, it's really sad, but like I don't remember like a whole lot of this.
At least you came out of it.
Yeah, at least you survived.
Yeah.
Like this one, they just call this more or less a slam.
I
don't understand.
I don't know what to say.
This kind of hurts.
Yeah. This is part of the movie where punks, when they see the movie, go, "Whoa, wait! There's no way to make this look cool."
They'll be doing the pogo. They're usually pretty close to the stage, and you keep moving around in a circle like this, because that's the way to pick.
Evidently, he wrote a book on the same topic later.
Slam dancing made easy.
For dummies. Now that looks like Devonshire Downs or something.
Yeah, it could have been the country club, or Devonshire Downs or something like that.
That guy's good though. He's good.
It doesn't matter if you fall down or not, because your buddy's going to be there to pick you up, or someone's going to pick you up. Get everything?
Got it.
Got it, guy. And that's bad religion. But I guess they're,
See, I didn't really like people up on the stage.
No, me neither.
We tried to play.
Right. Please, get off the stage.
The slam dance
bang your guitars out of tune.
And microphone in your face.
Right.
It's almost like, something
Yeah,
you see in a football
Yeah.
like that.
I got him.
But the people that are doing it, they're
Yeah.
all basically...
I learned how to play on stage by putting my foot on the mic stand, just firmly, and that's how I had to play for 15 years, because the mic is going to get shoved in my face before the barricades, before we got into the barricade business.
You can get hurt. You can if you're a girl. So from a girl's point of view, I don't think that slamming is advisable, or I don't even think it's. I think it's pretty stupid, but it's a good thing. It's a good way to get your aggressions out if you're a guy, because you can go out there and guys can usually handle it.
I used to slam dance. I used to be the only girl out there slam dancing. And I got my leg broken.
America is built around the whole idea.
They should have patriotic music when this guy comes on.
Versus them. Let's beat the shit out of the other guy before he beats the
Can we
shit
put
out
new
of
music
you.
on this?
And really,
They should have, right?
People that are criticizing the punks for slamming are these are these macho Americans, fat, overage, middle-aged Americans, sitting in their armchairs, watching other people beat the shit out of each other on TV every Sunday afternoon. But when it comes down to some people all at once having a good time with their
And we need an
friends,
update on this guy, for sure.
Yeah,
no
I
competition.
don't
It's
know
just
what he's
everyone having
doing
a good time.
now.
They call it random chaos.
I think he's a candidate for vice president. He's in the pool. Okay, now the Stearns brothers were a little perturbed by this. They said this was beyond staged.
Yeah, I don't know when this was not on the tour. This is just like they filmed this at some point afterwards that summer or something like that.
After you guys are barely recovering from disaster, and these guys are like
recovering, and
these guys are. Let's get some flavor.
Get a fresh perspective or something.
If you fall or when you're slamming, if you fall down, everyone stops and they help you. They pick you up, they make sure everything's okay. And if you're hurt, they're going to help you out.
Maybe.
Maybe they're practicing their stage dives.
They are. This is like the.
I've landed feet first in somebody's head and got beat up for it, and it wasn't too much fun. So, you just practice out here and try to land sort of like at an angle where they can at least slow you down before you hit the ground or catch you or whatever.
See, I don't understand the whole technical, thing about. You just did what you felt. I mean, you didn't really.
You did what you felt. You got beat up sometimes. Sometimes you didn't.
Exactly.
But also, as new kids are coming into the scene, they're, observing and trying to learn. But when you came in, there was probably you were making it up as you went along.
That's really a joke.
I would imagine.
Because it is violent. The whole nature of the dance is violent. The way kids swinging around, it just looks like they're beating each other up. The thing is it's not a malicious.
But you had the crop hair.
Violence. It's not really.
This hair, like whatever haircut you had, and then you crop the top.
I call it a shockabilly.
Shockabilly. I had that. Whatever hair I had, crop the top.
Right.
It ended up kind of mullet like, but
mullet-like.
But it,
I think mine was just a grown out flat top, but it was long. It definitely felt good to go and just let loose. You have all this frustration of life, and you go and it's like, here's a place. We weren't allowed to do this in school. We weren't on the football team. I wasn't. So this was a place that you could go and basically act out, I guess.
And
some of it was positive, some of it was negative.
Right. But it was also a rare thing that when you went back to your home, you saw everyone else didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So it made you feel probably a little better.
Worldly,
right. Like when people were beating you up, even you don't know anything. If you took away the barricades that they have now, it's not that much different than I think it would be.
Exactly.
They just have the barricades now.
Well, what happened too is a lot of gangs started getting into this. These kids started clicking up and stuff. So what was happening out in the crowds was, a lot of bullying and stuff like that. And at that point, I just said, well, let's think of something new.
Right.
This is getting old. Seeing 5 guys waiting for one guy to pass by in a circle and cold cock him, and once he's down, stomping him. That was pussy shit for me, just pussy. So it's like, let's think of something new.
Right. And then you had that combined with the music not really challenging you.
Yeah.
And then that
all of a sudden there was a lot of bands that all sounded the same,
and the reason you got into it was because you were
to be individual
different.
and be different.
All right. So you think that?
So there's a positive and a negative side to things becoming popular.
Right. But then that helped your evolution as a band to
Absolutely.
where you just said, okay,
carve your own niche and find something that is going to separate you.
Right. Yeah, because this is starting to look the same. Detroit. Okay.
We're having some trouble here, apparently.
Unscrew this plug right here. That one? Yeah, right there. We'll fill the gearing box fluid so we don't get the jaw wobbles again.
No more jaw wobbles.
What did he say? Jaw wobbles?
When the bus would get going too fast, sometimes it would
wobble. Okay.
It would vibrate, and one would call it the jaw wobbles.
After the guitar player for Public Image?
Something like that, yeah.
Bass player, whatever he was. Good one. So you brought that acoustic guitar to, that was a smart move.
Yeah. So here's where I'm showing it to the band and trying to get them to learn it. And
now we even got the drummer. Get Brent.
Brent's tortured right now, it looks like.
He needed one of those big Mexican basses, acoustic basses. Did the camera crew just put you all together there? Because you really don't need the drummer there, probably, at this point.
Right. Maybe I wanted to hear what it would sound like. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sometimes
okay,
I'd like to hear it. But
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Now, what's happening here?
This is our first casualty.
Me and Louie are like leaving for LA. We're just catching a bus out. I mean, the bus broke. You know, the tour bus broke down here, and I'm not going to be wandering the streets of Detroit. Just for, I've lived here before. I mean, it's dangerous.
Did they tell you before they're leaving, or did you find out?
That's it.
Just
I always found out kind of like last when
Right.
everything was happening. You know, I stayed in my own kind of little world. Back then, it was just all based around just playing music, eating, and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
three things.
Yeah. Now, where would you take a shower, and how often?
Every 3 days or something. Whenever you could just get in, someone's house.
Right. It's not bad. Now, what city is that?
Let's see. I think it might be Tucson.
Tucson?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you lost 2 roadies, but one of them had given you a black eye, so okay.
So this is like, I don't know, I guess this is a patriotic thing going on here. Reflection. Guess we got a little time to sightsee right here, so that was cool. That was a big deal for me to see.
Oh, yeah. Statue of Liberty clear across the country.
System, the American dream, the whole religion thing that's so...
Does he like politics?
Pardon?
Does he like politics?
Apparently.
Every day, it's just nothing you can believe in. We live in a government right now, we're under an administration that's trying to regress, go back to a golden age. It doesn't exist, and they sincerely believe we could have a nuclear war, and that's a really scary thing, to grow up thinking that these people are any day are just going to blow us all up. And the whole family...
Okay, so this is your first time in the New York subway?
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting.
Going to school, getting a good job, and getting married, and that would make you happy.
Yeah, we were having fun.
Did you pay or did you hop over?
I don't know. We probably hopped over.
They say, well, if that's the way they turn out, I don't want to turn out like that. I mean, it's not...
But in New York, did you fit in a little better by the time you got there? It was like so many people...
values that we were brought up in. I mean, we live in what people term a sinful society.
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
They just don't exist. Most of us
what was your show like?
Well, the first night we had a show like on a Saturday, but we got there on a Friday, and that's when I got in that gnarly fight with some of the locals there in New York City, Manhattan, some of the hardcore kids.
Now,
And that's where I
specifically,
got an old school beating that night.
Specifically, what happened? How did this? This is a pretty legendary fight. So what?
Well, it's like, we got a day off. And we go downtown and see this band play. I don't know who it was or anything, but, it's just a, it's just a testosterone thing. It's like I'm standing there watching a band. Some guy comes by me and, pushes me or something. And I took that as a challenge. So we got in a fight and it got took outside. And while we're fighting, someone else jumped in and kicked me in the fucking balls.
Oh.
I just got pissed. I ran across the street and got a bottle of 40-ouncer and threw it at the whole crowd.
Right.
I mean, there was about 20 people standing out in front at that point, and it hit Vinny Stigma in the knee.
From Agnostic Front?
From Agnostic Front, and then so a couple of his bros just proceeded to chase me down the street of Alphabet City. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I'm just running from 5-6 guys, and my crew and band were kind of running behind them just to make sure I didn't get pulverized.
Right.
And I took a little beating. I think I shit my pants. And,
Man.
And then
those are the scariest guys in New York, though. I mean, I was out there, toured with them a couple of times, but they were like.
But see, I was so oblivious, Like I always got in fights with bouncers, and always gotten. It didn't. It's almost like. I remember once at the Cafe de Grand, it was this local punk gang, and I didn't care. It's like, this guy's fucking an asshole, man. And so in a way that was bad because I was oblivious. I could have been killed in so many instances of my life, but at other times I had people say, it's so cool you cracked that guy, and he's a bully, and the guy could have probably kicked my ass, but I got scared and punched him first, and won the fight because it was like I got him by surprise or something. I got lucky a lot of times.
A lot of people didn't expect you were going to throw the punch.
Right.
But you fought a lot. I saw you in a lot of fights back then.
A lot of fights. And I don't know what it is. Back then was just. It was like I was I had my home life was messed up, and then you're getting flack from society, and
daily.
It's like, what, motherfucker, I don't need it here too. I come here to get away from all that. I don't need it here too. So, I guess that's maybe what I was thinking. I don't know.
It was. I think punk rock was more violent back then too. I ended up going to law school and become a pretty normal person, but I got in a fight once a week in the punk scene.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And at school, 2 or 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
It was. So I think back then there was a lot of fighting. You fought a lot, though. You did. You fought more than anybody. That's what I'm saying. But you got good.
We can say bad things about.
That's what the Stearns brothers said. They said you're a good fighter.
But it's just another.
I may not have been when I started, but you get in that many fights, you learn. I guess you learn something by the end of it all.
Right.
I learned how to defend myself, I guess, and that's.
Now this whole
that's
Jesus
a good
thing. Like.
Oh God! This was bad. This hurts.
I mean, what I found out later, that this is in L.A., this whole Jesus thing.
Yeah.
First time I saw this movie, must have been in Washington or something, but I never saw this in L.A.
Well, there's 2 things in life that I knew better to even ever try. One was the Army, or the Armed Forces. Second was religion.
Well, you know yourself. I didn't see you in any of those scenes with the singing the songs. I recognized a couple of those people.
Here we are, broke down in downtown Washington, D.C.
And the shorts are getting tinier.
Look at those legs. It's obviously summertime.
Yeah. Is this hot and sticky?
It's got to be. And look, we're wearing boots and jeans. I probably got a leather jacket on. we probably just like woke up from sleeping, you know, now being broke down.
Get up and
once
push.
again.
Fuck you, then you sleep outside, dick. We're at Constitution and 12.
So what's going on here?
This is classic Dennis Donnell, right? Always thinking of others. Dennis had style by luck. Dennis was always in the right place at the right time. And that's where we just like, man, you got style by luck, motherfucker.
It's a good thing we're a mobile society.
And they already went out and bought.
Wasn't he? They put his picture in a TV guide. That reminds me of a story.
Dennis.
Yeah, high school dropout. Turned out he wasn't a high school dropout. Film like high school dropout. Film at 11. He probably got paid for that.
remember that.
I think he got paid for that.
I think he did.
Yeah. Style by luck.
Style by luck. He had the mug.
Everybody to their own life.
So this is the mutiny.
Yeah, this is where like I like that guy's shirt.
Yeah.
We meet by eye. That's awesome. I want that shirt.
Mike Brenson, our roadie extraordinaire, has just called up a girlfriend of his here.
So it's dark. So you were there all day in that one spot.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we probably tried to get some parts, couldn't get them, and well, I'm sure the cops came to here in downtown D.C. You know, we probably looked like a. I mean, you got to realize this period of time was like these cops probably hadn't seen anything like this except for hippie vans, outlaw bike clubs, and now there's this. What is this new? What is this new?
Yeah.
You know.
Not again. Not another.
Yeah.
Subculture.
Counterculture.
Yeah.
You know.
So had you heard of a Minor Threat before you got there, or were you a fan, or what?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, well, they didn't. I didn't. It took me a while to figure this
they
one
were
out.
okay.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
It's definitely a different style. This is a new style emerging from the East Coast too, though.
Yeah, I mean, this was a straight edge movement, and for me at that period of life was like the farthest thing from my mind. You know, so I felt very alien.
They might as well be speaking Spanish.
Japanese. Yeah.
But you were just like, well, at least they're gonna let us stay here. I'll listen.
Well, yeah,
to
I mean, you live and let live. I guess, you know, he was entitled. It was his opinion, and I had mine, but we were definitely very different.
Mm-hmm. But then when you got sober later, what did you think about these people and?
Well, I mean, even in my darkest day, I always, you know, there was a big difference between the life I was leading and the kid who dressed in black and who went to college. You know, and I always deep down admired those kids who were like still part of this movement, still rebelling, but they had their act together and they were doing something to. All I had was the band, which almost killed me. I mean, that lifestyle I was leading was very extreme, and these kids could go to shows on the weekends, but during the week they had the discipline to go to school and get good grades and had a nice place to live. And part of me admired that. I mean, how could you not?
Right.
Most part, I've never smoked dope in my life, you know, and then I realized because I was
Something about the straight edge kid being under 21 that I was like, it's a good idea. You're not 21 anyway.
Yeah.
And you don't. I have to go buy. I have to meet girls by buying them beer.
About being, you know, like, I mean, you know, I had blackouts, you know, and that whole fight was probably, you know, a blackout. But like, this guy's talking about, you know, not getting himself in those types of situations, which, looking back now, is kind of cool.
Even, well, I think also this was making another positive aspect of punk that the media certainly didn't know about, didn't understand.
Definitely.
But you could take a Stiff Little Fingers album.
Well, he was taking what the stereotype and that the media was saying and proving them wrong.
Right.
It's like, no, we do know what we're doing. We're not just a bunch of fuck-ups.
Yeah, definitely. The DIY movement is coming out here.
Is that kind of like the Home Depot do-it-yourself?
Similar
thought process.
It comes out of the punk movement, and corporate America takes it over.
That's where it came from.
Yeah. Now you weren't at this show, I imagine. No, this is them playing with you guys.
Lurking back there behind the stage somewhere.
But when you went on, how did these people react to you? Because they're into a totally different thing.
This might have been a day off.
Okay.
This might have been one of their shows.
Right.
And we had the night off, so we get to just come and see. We had a lot of nights off.
Right.
You got to realize that this tour was probably, I'm trying to think, 12 weeks long, or no, this was, and we probably had in the beginning about 20 shows booked, and ended up probably doing only a dozen.
So that's a lot of nights off.
Yeah.
But here, at least you got in free.
We got in free, and
might have been some beer, not at this show, but at some shows.
Well, I can guarantee you, we had it. But what's amazing, this is just at some warehouse or some old Elks Lodge or something going on, and half the city doesn't even know this is going on,
Forbidden breakage.
Yeah, they find out that night.
Timing gears broke.
In 3 fucking states across the United States so far. For what reasons unknown to man or monk. And there it is, as I hypothesized. Look at them. There they are, all broken.
Is this when you first got interested in cars?
Yeah, I said, I want to go home and build one of these.
Split home. And ever since then, things haven't been going as well as we would have liked. Things are working out pretty well on the shows, but
I didn't even know how to turn a wrench back then.
Things are working out and are ready to desert and fly back to LA.
Why do things seem so bad that we've stayed here for 3 nice days and had a good time? Because we finally realized what it's like to be a human being again. We haven't been humans on that bus.
See, the rest of us hadn't quite figured that out yet. What it's like to be a real human being.
It's like being in a goddamn cattle car. And I seriously did lose like 6 pounds. And that bothers me because I can't afford to lose 6 pounds. It's like we're getting punished.
Seems like we could have had an endorsement back then by some sort of acne skincare.
I think
there
the
weren't
diet.
any endorsements knocking on our doors back then, though.
You could have had your bus wrapped.
Right.
But you can tell the guy who was eating the best. His skin is the clearest. He was the guy controlling the money too.
Exactly.
I think.
See that right there? That's a Snickers diet.
Yeah, exactly. It's a diet.
Oh, they're talking about me drinking till I fall down.
I've been playing half these songs for 3 years. I know them like the fucking. I know these songs like my mother.
But it's never us. It's just Sean Stern, period. Sean Stern tells us. Sean Stern does this. Sean Stern calls them. Sean Stern doesn't pay us. It's not like we all have a hand in the kitty because we don't have shit to say about it. Just
Mark did say he had all the money.
The next major catastrophe.
Not my responsibility.
His skin's a little better.
Pep talks and be their camp counselor. This isn't camp.
I think he might have gained weight.
Guaranteed fun, and when the fun stops, then we're gonna take care of them. They have to understand and use their minds.
He's got a point there,
Fuck up.
It's like
the bus breaks down, then the money's got to go for the bus because the bus is the most important thing to keep the tour going. And if we have to cut people's money down to $5, we have to cut people's money down to $5. That's all there is to it. Everybody's in the same boat. And if they can't,
so maybe we started with 10, and then it was down to 5.
10's not bad.
10's not bad back then.
Yeah.
Days now, we've been staying here at Discord House. I don't know what Mike and Brent and Dennis, if they're gonna come back or what. The bus hasn't been fixed yet, so we've just been.
With that few shows, that's.
Modern Threat's been really cool.
I mean, the fact that you guys aren't just have to stop somewhere and get jobs, or you know, fly home already is pretty remarkable to me.
Well, I didn't have a whole lot to go home to, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you were in it for the long run, no matter what.
Pretty much, yeah. It was like, it was the great escape.
Right. And plus, when you get back, you can tell everybody whatever you want until they make a movie out of it.
Yeah, we're making good money. We hit the big time.
And that's why I do my hair this way, and that's why I do my face this way, because out of the misery, I felt like death, and that's probably closest to what I look like is death. I think a lot of people find it repellent. I think a lot.
Yeah, the Stearns brothers didn't know what this was about.
This was probably just a local girl in D.C. or something that they, you know, felt had something to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's.
I mean, that's one thing that I think was good about this film was that they got these kids' point of views from other places, not just the bands or the crews from Southern California.
And I'll see people that I used to know.
And you think if someone never heard of punk rock, do you think this would be would give them a good depiction, an accurate depiction, or a confusing?
Well, you know, how do you? It's kind of like those VH1 shows that try to get 25 years of punk rock in an hour show. It's like, what the fuck was that? You know, things can get lost in the translation, and this is, in my opinion, just an introduction, maybe, to what the scene was about, and maybe a small perspective.
My mother's shrink won't let her see me because he thinks it's real.
And then what do kids? I mean, you must meet a lot of kids on the road. What do they? You get a lot of people asking you about the movie, or want to know stuff about it, or telling you they saw it and they liked it, or.
Yeah, I mean, most people really like it. I mean, it's a well put together film, and yeah, I think it's important for kids to see this, to see that, you know, it wasn't always, you know, you go to the malls and you can buy your stuff, and well, you know, it's like punk rock with kids now is almost encouraged. It's like, oh, how cute.
Yeah, the T-shirts are
His hair
cheap.
is blue.
The tickets are cheap.
Yeah, and it's like, it's very important, I think, for them to see that back then, you know, it was a revolution. It was like things were really bad back then, and we felt the need to want to change it.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it like at your school? Like you and Dennis and.
Yeah, I got, you know, hassled. I remember the day I stopped getting hassled at school was, you know, the jocks would throw apples across the quad. No one would really do it to your face, right. You know what I mean? But I came to school one day with fresh cuts all over my arms and face,
right.
That I had basically done with a large steak knife and a pair of metal scissors. You know, and you got to realize I was acting out. It was really, looking back, it was a cry for help. You know, like, but I had a lot of internal pain going on, and I guess, you know, I saw Sid Vicious do it, and I thought, you know, well, I'll be Orange County Sid Vicious or something, and so I came to school all razor slashes, cuts all over me, and I just remember this head jock just going, man, you're fucking crazy. And from that point on, no one ever fucked with me again, because this guy's gone. This guy's crazy. Like, this guy could do anything. This guy probably has a switchblade on right now. They're gonna stick me in the gut.
Yeah, in Orange County, they weren't really used to that.
So I managed. That was before tattoos,
Right.
so that was how I kind of kept society out, away from me. I put up a wall.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Been getting harassed a lot. Been getting in a lot of trouble. So
And then the hair. Did you have the hair dyed in school?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
people crack under pressure.
And what about Dennis? What was he doing in those days?
Dennis was not quite as, as extreme as me. I mean, he'd get all fucked up the night before, but then get up and have a healthy breakfast and go surfing the next day.
He had food.
He had a much more sense of balance. I was really just the extremist.
Now, is this is during the tour still?
Yeah, this is in someone's bedroom.
And then you have some nice clothes there.
I have some nice clothes there. I got those at
No,
see, that was before the Trump Center.
The Trump Tower was built.
Yeah, so one of those fine department stores.
But this is a different outfit than the rest of the tour, it seems.
This is my stepping out outfit.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Black blazer.
Her voice and shivers down my spine. The chorus says, "These scars in my flesh, I'm bruised and I'm bloody."
Maybe this is home. I look pretty clean.
Kind of a follow-up, maybe?
Probably a follow-up, yeah.
If I make it back, I'm going home to her. And then that's what I've got so far.
This, I ended up flying home from D.C. The girlfriend at the time I had, who I was too tiny, flew me home from D.C. Probably out of pity. She felt sorry for me at that point.
Well,
because my band had flown home.
Right. So at this point, your band's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the airport.
So your choices were
stay on the tour, and we're in D.C. I think the next show was going to be in Dallas. So it's like spend a week driving with these clowns, and or maybe go home and kind of regroup.
Yeah.
So I opted to go home and regroup. And
did you talk to them and say, "Hey, the band's still the band. When we get back, we'll get together"?
Well, yeah, I didn't think the band was going to break up over this.
So you understood that?
Yeah, it was either stay at the Discord house for another week or something. Or
And only drink.
It was like,
and only drink on the porch.
Yeah, I had to drink on the porch. And drink alone, practically.
Right. Now, who was your drinking buddy on the tour?
Mainly it was Mark Stern. He had the money all the time for the beer.
Right.
It's almost like that was in the budget.
Right.
Well, they wanted to keep me happy,
Right. Yeah. You're the headliner.
So they figured it was like a pacifier.
Right.
Get my beers every day, and they'll stay on the tour.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see my band. It didn't.
Yeah. Didn't work for them.
So I guess at this point, maybe the show in Texas got canceled. So there was no.
They told me they went to Texas. They actually
but
drove
not
to
in
Texas.
the bus, in the equipment truck, maybe.
I think they
film
said
truck.
they left the bus. The bus made it to Texas.
This is the film truck right here.
And so
they got the gear in there, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And then notice Brinson is smoking.
Climb in, Monk. Get to your spot for the next 2 days.
No windows.
Next stop, see you later.
That must have been a hell ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got on my plane and I walked past Muhammad Ali. He was in first class. I said, "Yo, what's up, Muhammad?" That was the highlight of the tour, man.
The first thing you told people when you got home?
Yeah, and he totally looked at me and said, "Hey," and I said, "Hey," and it's like, yeah.
Wow. Now, what did the bus smell like?
Well, it smelled like 10 guys. It smelled like Well, if you were to go outside to Santa Monica Boulevard right now,
Uh-huh.
walk to one of those Mexican bars,
Mm-hmm.
when they open up at 6 a.m., that's what our bus smelled like.
Combination of throw up, urine, sweat, and fungus.
Yes.
The shorts are back, though. They're back.
You might think that this is a dismal failure, and you might be right to a certain extent.
Now, did he pick up a little fashion thing in D.C., you think?
But that's not what we set out to do.
He might have picked up some suspenders.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish.
Look good, though.
pretty much, and that's what's important to me. Was it worth it? Yeah, I'd say.
Now, how does this differ when you got home in the forest? Where did you go? I mean, these guys are going to their
I came home
apartment.
and proceeded to get worse into, I got alcoholism and drug addiction, for a couple of years. So, yeah, I mean, this is the summer of 82, I guess, right now. Summer of 82, and then I proceeded to, go and get strung out on heroin for a couple of years. And
I imagine you didn't have a home. Like these, looks like these guys had kept an apartment.
yeah, these
for
guys
3
had
months.
a nice apartment in West Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. And where did you go when your girlfriend picked you up at the airport?
I went I've lived all over Orange County, like in practically every city, wherever, whoever would have me, basically I was kind of like, I showed up in your doorstep and that was a problem.
The couch tour.
Couch tour.
And if I had to go back and do it all over again, I would.
But, we had gained a little bit of momentum at this point.
Right.
So we were able to do shows in the 83, 84,
Mm-hmm.
and then, by 85, I got my act together.
Yeah. And they were big shows.
They got bigger.
Yeah.
Real big now.
Right. And then you had management, and
I guess we're rock stars now, huh?
That's what you are now.
I always wanted to be a rock star since I was 4 years old. So,
What else would you have been, do you think? Can't play guitar, what do you do?
Well, if I wouldn't have become a rock star, I would be dead.
Well, you survived this tour?
Still surviving.
Still alive. Now, is this the recording from the album, or is
Yes, this is from Mommy's the Monster. Our first album. "21 years ago."
21 years? Well, I guess we're nearing the end of this thing. So, what do you have to say about the?
So long.
There's the Sterns are going to be on there, and then the director are going to make their commentary. So.
Okay. Well, this is Mike Ness and Joe Escalante signing off.
Bye-bye.